Hello everyone, welcome back to GGN. This is part 5 for this news report today. It's Thursday, February 28th, 2013, and I'm Darko. Okay, I'm ready to go here. I don't have a lot left in this last video. Cuomo of New York says here that he announces plans to modify gun control laws to exempt film industry, to also fix errant legislation featuring cops in high-capacity magazines. Just a month after Governor Andrew Cuomo signed the strictest gun law in the country, state officials plan to make some exceptions, right? The law toughened restrictions on military-style rifles and high-capacity semi-automatic handguns. So it sounds really spooky, doesn't it? High-capacity semi-automatic handguns. Those are the ones that go boop, boop, boop. Not the ones like the one I saw yesterday on YouTube. Pretty scary stuff. The Vulcan, that's what it was. The M61 Vulcan. I mean, this thing shoots, I think, what was it, 6,000 rounds per second? I mean, it's insane. I mean, it looks like Satan pissing on people. It does. It looks like it comes straight from the bowels of hell. And what's even more disturbing is when you finish this clip here, it actually shows a little kid, like a 4-year-old with his dumbass dad who has a website, YouTube page, just all about this stuff. He's shooting off this thing. It's really, really sickening. So, I mean, they're worried about people having an AR-15, not even an automatic rifle, with 30 rounds when this thing fires, like I said, 6,000 rounds per second. Some crazy number like that. Maybe even more. Anyways, back to what we were saying. The law toughened restrictions on military-style rifles and high-capacity semi-automatic handguns, but those restrictions will be changed so that types of weapons can be used on sets of television shows and movies being shot in New York, so they can promote these guns for the military-industrial complex, like the NRA, that's who they represent, not gun owners, but gun manufacturers. And they can promote all this. Like I was just looking at a Redbox yesterday and see all these horror movies and all these shoot-'em-up movies. But then these same assholes come out and say there's too much gun violence. We spend a lot of money in the state bringing movie production here, so obviously we want to facilitate that. It says that prop firearms used in films would probably not be classified as an assault weapon. So it goes on here, says Cuomo and lawmakers announced on Wednesday that they will also fix an error that made its way into the law. One of them, the measure passed so quickly that it reads now, police officers carrying high-capacity magazines could even be in violation of law. So I just covered an article on Tuesday about a pastor that was going to start or initiate a gun buyback program for toy guns, an actual toy gun buyback program. It says guns for Beyonce tickets. Hip-hop mogul proposes free concert passes in buyback program. So they have plans to offer goods like Beyonce concert tickets to New Yorkers willing to hand in their firearms. Williams is hoping to raise $100,000 for his Guns for Greatness program and get support of the New York Police Department. I mean, you have to think about this. You have to use common sense. You can't be naive. So when they make statements like this, I think we should all get together to help get guns off the street. You think Joe Q, robber, murderer, raper in the back alleys of the Bronx, you think he's going to go in there, Beyonce, and because he wants to, you know, he's going to turn in his gun or whatever to get a Beyonce freaking ticket? Propose, and this is, again, I hate these headlines of like these local affiliates. They should just put what it actually is. I hate when they do this. Just put what you're going to talk about. They put in the proposed Guntersville ordinance sparks controversy, right? So actually what they're saying is that in civil rights they can confiscate your guns. I mean, why not just put that, right? It says a proposed disaster emergency ordinance in the city is causing controversy. The city council and mayor are considering a new ordinance that gives the city more power. So is this coming from the bottom up? No. That's how you know it's not a democracy. This is representative democracy. So it's not coming from the people. It's coming from the city. So when you get a ticket from the city. When the city has all these ordinances and laws, they say, well, the city this and the city that. They're not talking about the people. They're talking about the corporation of the city of whatever. So it's all through engineered consent, and that's what this article is going to do. But it would also give officers more power. So it says it would ensure quick response in the event of major disaster because nobody can take care of themselves. And now they want to make it so that you can't defend yourselves when the pigs aren't going to be there. But it would also give police officers more power. The ordinance states that officers could disarm individuals if necessary Dollar says the proposal is just a way to give officers more authority to protect themselves. See, what's wrong with that, guys? We're not trying to infringe upon anyone's constitutional rights whatsoever. It's just to protect the workers out there in a disaster. So you like how they try to give you some doublespeak. They tell you something and they say, well, and then if you have a brain, you can think, you can compute and analyze what you've just been told. You can say, well, that's gun confiscation. Oh no, it's not gun confiscation, little kid, little boy, little girl, little child. It's not gun confiscation, even though we basically just said it is. Oh, you're looking too deep into this. You're too paranoid. You're not naive enough, basically, is what they're saying. We have health department. Homeless can eat deer meat. Hunters across Louisiana are outraged. I've seen so many stories of this. People volunteering their time or resources, like even the Sandy Hook, and they turn it away, right? Instead of just accepting it and then giving it out to poor people somewhere else in the next county or state, oh, just stop donating. Stop. We don't want any more help. Let the state do it. Let the county do it. Let the authorities be the humanitarians, not lone citizens. Hunters across Louisiana are outraged after state health officials ordered a rescue mission to destroy $8,000 worth of deer meat because venison is not allowed to be served in homeless shelters. Department of Health and Hospitals ordered the staff at the Shreveport rescue mission to throw 1,600 pounds of donated venison in garbage bins and then ordered to douse the meat with Clorox so other animals would not eat the meat. God! Deer meat is not permitted to be served in a shelter, restaurant, or any other public eating establishment in Louisiana because it is way too healthy, said health department official. Of course, I added that last part because that's exactly what the reason is. If you could be eating like buffalo and venison and all those types of meats that people used to eat, man, it'd probably be a little bit healthier instead of eating the crap beef that we're fed that has freaking horse donkey meat full of drugs. While we applaud the good intentions of the hunters who donated this meat, we must protect the people. The city must protect the people who eat at the rescue mission. We cannot allow a potential serious health threat to endanger public because what? Insurance and liability, and everybody's caught up in liability, right? I keep hearing these stories about, at hockey places, at hockey arenas, there's no alcohol. Why? Oh, because it leads to fights. Okay, so no more alcohol when you're going to the hockey game. Where's the pool table? Can't find any pool tables, just last week. Oh, that's because these bars, they just removed them. I say, why? Oh, because of people wanting to get into fights. And trust me, that's one of the main reasons why I don't really like going out in public and stuff like that is because people get drunk and they get stupid and they want to fight. So I understand that. But it's just this ridiculous logic of just banning everything to avoid something. And it all comes down to liability and insurance. So that theory of insurance companies are going to run the world in the future, if they don't already, I think there's a lot of truth in that. I think there's a lot of truth to that. Russia finds horse meat in Australian-made sausages. So Russia, who's actually blocking U.S. meat because they have that ractopamine stuff in there that has very serious health effects, says that they found horse meat in a shipment of pork sausages imported from Austria, the latest turn in the horse meat scandal. Really, some of this donkey meat in South Africa, they just said. Test of shipments of Frankfurter sausages found the DNA of horses, chicken, cattle, and soya. So they were labeled as having pork fat and other ingredients with no reference to horse meat and chicken. This is an import of falsified products, the same thing that is happening in the European Union. They don't even know where the source of meat is. Tyson, Cargill, among others, now drugging your meat with Merck's new Zilmax. So the scientists have introduced a new drug to the meat industry, Zilmax. Sounds very nice and friendly, doesn't it? This drug bulks up cattle in the last few weeks of their lives, bringing in more revenue for feedlot owners. 4 major meat companies now use Zilmax, including Tyson, JBS, Cargill, National Beef Packing. So it says Cargill resisted Zilmax for years, but finally got on board to keep up with the market. So that's how capitalism works. So eventually it'll just consolidate, so we'll just have one company running all of this. It's vulture, right? It's predatory. And they just gobble each other up. Can't just exist. Can't just be let just exist and let your company go. No, you got to grow. You got to grow. You got to grow. California high school principal, and they don't give a shit about workers. They don't care about the people that are actually even buying the product. I'm not saying most all companies, but I'm saying a good majority of them are like that. California high school principal orders student to delete video of teacher stealing. High school student in California caught her gym teacher on a video rummaging through students' belongings, possibly stealing items, took the video to the principal in hopes that he would take action. So even if he wasn't going to steal things, he's invading their privacy, right? But they're used to that now because they have all the drug raids in their lockers and police, and now got, quote, conservatives are calling for armed cops in schools now and full lockdown, right? Well, they're brainwashing them. I'm still fighting to do the job I love, says a whistleblower nurse who exposed shocking truth about Stafford Hospital. She blew the whistle 3 years ago, then was blocked from finishing her nursing course. She's since lost 2 appeals and still can't do the job she loves. So I'm going to keep moving on here for time's sake. Man arrested for suspected pot DUI over color of his tongue. Says pot may be legal in Washington State, but Kent police recently arrested a man for driving under the influence because he said he had a green film on his tongue. 31-year-old on Tuesday was put in jail for 13 hours. Now towing lawyer fees, he has $5,000, and he's not allowed to drive while he's out on bail. So, he can't go anywhere, can't get work to pay it off. Nice. California couple reported missing in Peru, turn up on boat. So the young couple reported to be missing and feared kidnapped on a cycling trip to Peru have turned up on a riverboat in Andean Nation, the mother of one pair said in an online statement posted on Tuesday. So they said the Americans are continuing to enjoy their trip. They basically they took a boat trip. It's funny though because the parents were all up in arms. They were worried because their bank accounts would remain idle. And the mother said she wants proof of life. But the fact is that, yeah, you're in the Amazon. You can't phone, text, and stuff like that. And like someone else said, just go out there and get away for a month or two, But that's what it's all about. Let me know. Like most moms out there, you should let me know where you're going and how long you're going to be there. And like half the comments are like that. So this is how you know the programming is effective. When you look at 56 thumbs up. What a couple of idiots, right? So. Bill Gates continues God's work. Third world vaccine workers shot dead. That's right, in Pakistan. So it says here, it's God's work. It's not going to stop us succeeding, says Gates. But it appears that they don't want his vaccines or his charity, as more shootings were reported in Nigeria, along with Pakistan. And there's a bill to be passed here. Basically, consent to vaccinating a child. So it says a child may consent to the child's own immunization if the child is pregnant or if the parent of the child has actual custody of that child. So pretty interesting. They want to vaccinate pregnant girls, because they have a high teen pregnancy rate down there. So this goes to show you. UK tested poison gas on Indians before World War II. So Britain's testing poisonous gas on Indian soldiers before World War II is among the most notorious atrocities in Britain's colonial history, leaving hundreds of Indians dead and the survived victims severely injured. But that wouldn't be the first, right? US-UK taxpayers funding forced sterilizations in India from May 2012. So this is part of a population campaign that grows in India, like giving them a car to get sterilized. Canadian petition regarding high-altitude aerial spraying on January 13. A petition to be presented to the Canadian House of Commons regarding high-altitude aerial spraying, that is, chemtrails. So if you're Canadian, you might want to go and check it out. Check out the link. It says, time's come for the people of Canada to collectively demand answers from their representatives, quote representatives, put an end to what is going on in the skies. Are you pessimistic? You might live longer. Study cites dangers of being overly optimistic. So it was a 10-year period, this research of 40,000 subjects found that being overly optimistic was linked to greater risk of disability and death within the following decade. So this goes to show you the health of our society. U.S. teens had three-way sex on corpse of men they lured to their house, strangled to death, and hogtied. 8-year-old woman with a necrophilia fetish had three-way sex on corpses of 2 men who she and her sexual partner strangled it. So this was in Illinois, Joliet. So a minor told police he remembered years back that Massaro had told him she wanted to have sex with a dead guy, so he hoped to fulfill part of her fantasy, according to documents. I guess they jumped on their backs and surfed on their dead bodies, as it shows disregard for common decency towards human beings. Remember this from February 20th, a Central Ohio doctor, I think a Pakistani, was charged Wednesday with rape and 2 counts of murder, charged with rape, murder, and pregnant woman's death. They tricked her into a house cleaning job. So, sadistic thug 24 jailed after a young mother finds a DVD of him subjecting her 15-month-old son appalling torture. Slapped, poked, and thrown a ball at the defenseless baby. John Hopkins gynecologist has been accused of secretly videotaping patients while he wore a pen around his neck. Thank you.